Hey Superstar Math students, this is Dr. Conklin here. I'm going to do a quick video for you. You can follow along on page 17 and page 18. And I'm just going to do a few questions. And I actually called this review the top 5 questions. When we have our unit test, these are the most likely questions that will probably show up for solving equations. So I sort of wanted to go through and just do the most important ones. So on page 17, if you look at B, it says solve the following equations using x using the inverse operation. And remember, the word inverse just means opposite. So I did want to go over this one first because it has this division. So the first thing we need to do is we need to actually multiply both sides by 4. When we do that, we're left with x plus 2 equals, and then when I multiply here, negative 2 times 4, again, use your calculator, you should have a negative 8. So let's go ahead and solve for x here. Here's my x. I'm going to draw my line down the middle. I can get rid of a positive 2 by subtracting 2 from both sides. And when I do that, I have x equals negative 10. Okay, let's go down and we're going to do another fraction one. If I look down here at question 4, draw my line down the middle. First thing we want to do, make sure we're identifying when to get x by itself. So now I'm going to get rid of this 2 on both sides, right? The inverse operation. I'm left with negative 3/2 x equals negative 6. Again, using my calculator to check my work. Now to get x by itself here, we need to multiply by the reciprocal. So reciprocal is a fancy way to say flip. We're going to flip the fraction. So the reciprocal of negative 3 over 2 is negative 2 over 3. So what I do to one side, I have to do the other side. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, and x equals, so again, you can use your calculator here, negative 6 times negative 2/3 should give me a 12/3, or you can just leave that as 4. So remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. All right, looking down here now, I have a problem here. This is distributive property and combining their terms. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to change this to example 5 might be a little bit better. Yeah, let's do example 5 because it's got combining like terms and distributive. So when I see these parentheses, I know my first step is to distribute. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative 1, negative 3. Bring down my minus 10 equals 8 plus 5x. Now I see here that I have 2 like terms on the left side, so I'm going to combine those. Again, using my calculator, negative 3 and negative 10 is negative 13. Okay, and now this just becomes a 2-step equation. I have variables on both sides. So let's take away 5x from both sides. So 1x minus 13 equals 8. So to do my last step, I want to cancel that negative 13. The opposite of a negative is a positive. Oops. So x equals 21. Yay. All right, now we're going to get into a couple of ones that are a little bit harder. I see we have some decimals here in a fraction bar. So let's look at number 10, and I have my calculator right next to me so that I can sort of do this question with you guys. So first, I see that I have my parentheses here, which means our good old friend distributive property, okay? So I'm going to distribute. I'm keeping this 0.02m. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 0.08 or 8/100 times 8, and I get 0.64. Now, be careful here. Negative m really has a negative 1 here, so it's going to be 0.08 or 8/100 times negative 1 is negative 0.08m equals 1.78. And then I can combine like terms here. If you're checking, again, I would suggest using your calculator. Let me punch that in. And I get negative 0.06m plus 0.64 equals 1.78. So although this is ugly with all the decimals, it's just really taking your time and doing it one step at a time. And I'm going to take away the 0.64 on both sides. Okay, So let's do 1.78 minus 0.64. And I'm left with 1.14. Divide both sides by negative 0.6. So then 1.14 divided by 0.06 actually leaves us with a whole number, negative 9. Okay, so that's sort of one of the uglier ones. And let's go down here, and I want to just try one with a fraction because these can be a little bit tricky. So actually, before I start, let me just get rid of this negative 14. So we're on number 14, guys, but I just want to make it so that I can write next to it. So now when we see this division bar, we need to cancel that first. So the opposite of dividing is going to be multiplying. So I'm going to start by multiplying both sides by 6. I'm left with 5x plus 1 plus 4 equals 24. Okay, and then let's distribute. So 5x plus 5 plus 4 equals 24. All right, and then I see we have two whole numbers here, so let's combine those. We'll take away 9 from both sides. So 24 minus 9 gives us 15. Divide by 5, x is 3. Okay, I hope that review helped. We also have our answer key for these pages, so I'll post those as well. Keep up the great work, and please let us know if you have any questions. Have a great day.